What do you do if your client or someone you've been talking to, trying to do a deal with, suddenly starts ignoring you? You suddenly find yourself ghosted. How do you react? It's one of the questions over the years of working in sales and as a business development coach and mentor that I'm asked most often. In fact, I was asked it just yesterday by a good contact of mine, and they've seen an increase, as I have with all the people I'm working with, in people and clients and those in the business world starting to ghost. It can be highly frustrating. It can start making you feel like this. So what do you do? Well, there's a few things you can do, and I'm going to run through them step by step with their pros and cons, so you can decide how you can deal with these issues when you're being ghosted. Well, the first one's quite simple, and you might well be doing it now. You can be a persistent pest. You can just keep nagging, keep asking, keep saying, just reminding you, just reminding you. You can try phoning, you can try bombarding. Eventually you may get a response, but it's highly unlikely. It does also put you in that pest category. So while you may feel entitled to, because they've asked that information or they've requested that information, it still isn't the best approach. It may get a response, but it's likely that that person will not want to work with you in the long term because they'll find you a pest. So I'd say avoid doing that. And of course, absolutely don't do that if you're cold calling. If you are cold calling, you have no right to ask someone to respond to something they didn't request. You do have a right if they requested it, and you can also send one chasing email, but too many won't work. The next one you can do is make sure you've articulated the value, and if you have, re-articulate the value. So if there's a value in the offering, or if they need something, or if there's a timeline to what you're offering, which there certainly can be in the legal, engineering or accountancy sector, reaffirm it. Say, hey look, I don't want to be a pest, but just checking in. If we don't address this now, it will cause a bigger issue, so I just want to make sure you've got it covered. If that's the case, please come back to us. Or it may just be, look, hey, you said this was an issue to you or a challenge to you. It's causing you some pain. We provided some options and solutions. The value to you in achieving this will be that. Is that still the case? Is this something you still want to solve? Check in, re-articulate the value, and you should get a response. The next great way to stop someone ghosting you is to change the conversation. If they're not responding to you about a specific deal or meeting up with you, then try something different. Perhaps send them a report or a piece of third-party intelligence that might be relevant to them. Email them that. Or maybe just say, something's changed in the market. Thought it might be a good idea to have a quick chat about X, Y, or Z. For example, there might be a change in the legislation or the laws. Put that in front of them, say, let's catch up. How about a phone call or a quick meeting just to discuss this? Changing the conversation does two things. It might get them to open up to you about something different, but it might also go, oh thanks, that's really, really helpful. I'm also reminding that there's something I need to get back to you on. And then they're likely to come back because you haven't pestered them. So it's a great way to do it in a softly way without having to force it or without being a nag. And my final tip, if you're being ghosted, is to give the client a get out of jail card. Or another way of putting it is offer that olive branch. It may just be that they are embarrassed. Lots of clients don't like saying no or letting you know that things have changed. They don't know how to get back to you. They'd rather ignore it than say no. Now obviously us in the sales world or us talking to clients would rather have a no than a not an answer, because obviously you have to keep chasing, and that's annoying. So knowing something is better than not knowing, but clients don't think like that. They feel embarrassed to let you down. So what you can do is send them an email, give them a call, say, hey, look, I appreciate things change. It happens all the time. If things have changed at your end, that's fine. Just be good to know so I don't have to pester you any further. Please let me know if that is the case or if you're still considering what we were discussing. That gives them both options, a really easy way to say, look, hey, things have changed. Sorry, we couldn't do business this time. Maybe next time. And it makes you a good person to deal with because you've made it easy to do business with. So it's a really good way. Even if it doesn't get the answer that you want on that particular occasion, for the long term, it will help you build a really good client relationship. And that's it. That's your 4 tips if you're being ghosted, of what you can do to change the conversation and really have an impact with your clients and get that response. It is frustrating to be ghosted. No one likes it, but we do have to deal with it in business, and it's a growing trend. Hopefully that will change, but for right now it's something we need to deal with. If you've enjoyed this, there's plenty more material to give you tips to help you fire up your business development in the B2B space, so make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. I've really enjoyed this one. Ghosting is one of those topics that over the years I've been asked a lot about. There are 4 ways to do it. I think the last 2 that I went through there are definitely the best. Either change the conversation or give your client a get out of jail free card.